Hey, welcome to my video. I'm Jennifer Roberts and this is True Divine 4-4. I appreciate you all being here, and as well as the daily energy readings that I do and the writing on the wall that I do as often as possible. I've forgotten a little bit to add in some of the guidance cards, some of the guidance that comes up through the cards. And one of the set that is the favorite that I got is this beautiful set that they're beautifully illustrated on the back. And today, and the front, obviously, today for the 7th of May 2020, we got the number 12, and it is the Coyote. And this is a beautiful card that I haven't seen before using this deck, so I realized it hadn't come up once I saw it, and it really did take me in for a bit. And so the Coyote is represented as the great spirit, a sacred spirit, and it is a trickster of an energy. And this is where we go in our lives, and things may seem we have absolute intentions for how things should look, how things should be, how we should be, how others should be, and everything seems to be going wrong. Everything, every move we make ultimately goes wrong. Every step we take, it goes, in the wrong direction. It's a little bit like being drunk and telling yourself, I need to go right. I'm going to go right here. I'm going to go right here. And your mind goes right and your body goes that way. You see the funny videos where that happens, which I think is hilarious because they just can't connect the two. And that's represented in life a lot, where we're not connecting all of the aspects of ourselves. And so the Coyote spirit often comes along when we've been in more superficial energies. Even the intentions that we've made for how things should look are based on the more superficial side of things. Now, there's nothing wrong with the superficial, the way that we adorn ourselves, the way that we choose to like sparkly things or like metal things. We have our personal superficial tastes that ultimately add on to the rest of us. It shows the personality, it shows the mood somebody's in, it shows what they like and what they don't like, it shows a style which should stitch in and integrate with the rest of us. But often the Coyote spirit, that great sacred spirit, comes, howling, yowling in the midnight sky to warn you that you are too focused on just that, without it being an add-on, without it being a part of your greatness. We've gotten too hooked on the superficial. When I saw this card and looked into its eyes, you realize that as many as the generations, we have been driven into this direction. And for the most part, we've happily gone into the very superficial, and then having the superficial be what we represent as the most important part of us: what car we drive, how we look, what clothes we wear, who we are seen around, all of those things, what belief system we have, what morals and ethics we have. Yet those things are very superficial. They don't go down into the root of the person or the generation. So things like an obsession with gold, an obsession with big gold jewelry, it went to an extreme, and people forgot their inner gold. They forgot their inner sparkle. They forgot how that should be a representation of that being of gold on the inside, of solid, pure enlightenment and gold, abundance. And so the Coyote spirit has been screaming, I feel, for a while, waiting for people to listen. And, to get people to listen, this energy will use the trickster energy. It will know your intentions, and you'll feel like you're going to get everything you hoped for, and then bang, something comes along and you get everything that you did not put intentions towards, or so you thought. And so I feel as a collective, that's where we are right now. It's screaming out into the night sky to say, look, It's obvious. This is what you wanted. You wanted to be led. You wanted to have decisions made for you. You wanted to have these chemicals. You wanted to not know what ingredients were what, from a deodorant to a soap to an injection. Didn't you? The medicine is, with this spirit, is to look at ourselves in this energy and say, where have we tricked ourselves into thinking this was it and only it? Where have we been misled in our individual lives? Why do we keep attracting, say, relationships that aren't deep and meaningful? Is it because you put up with your deep and meaningful side in previous relationships, not being seen and not being heard and not being respected? So actually, when you're manifesting your next partner, drawing in your next partner, you draw in somebody who comes across as deep, but is a mirror effect of what you've been putting up with, and is indeed shallow and superficial. So there's huge energy through this card today for you to take a hold of this in your own life and befriend this coyote, befriend this trickster spirit, question it, get answers from it, be honest with it. I think in a lot of people's cases today, it represents the subconscious being the coyote spirit, being that sacred energy within that has a divinity and sovereignty to it, that it will watch as the physical body goes that way, knowing it weren't meant to go that way, and laugh at the growth and expansion that the person that's got a brain going that way, a consciousness going that way, and a body going that way. You know, that drunk person who you can see they want to go that way, they're looking that way, but the body goes that way. This is where, you know, you can laugh at those things that you thought were so painful, that you thought were so bad, and laugh and say, it was me drawing it in, and so it was me that can grow from this and change this pattern, that can look to the deeper aspects of me again. It's like a union when you're able to do that. It can be orgasmic. Sorry, I didn't turn that off. It can be exhilarating. Really sorry, I didn't turn that off. You know, it can be so enjoyable to laugh at these things that we thought were so bad and so serious, and still being able to take the serious side of them and the serious growth and the serious expansion and the serious lessons within them, but being able to do it in a way that belittles them also, and gives us our power and strength back to know that we can turn it around. We can say, okay, we're going to be, we want to smell nice, right? I'm going to make sure I know how to make my own, so nobody's in charge of whether I can get that stuff imported or whatever. Or I'm going to make sure I know the ingredients so that I can, you know, still have something that makes my body smell nice, but something that is not going to poison my body. And so it's a union of all of these aspects of yourself when we start to think with true intent, with true depth, with true perception and true intent behind it for the greatness of every part of you. That's when this wholeness occurs. So the trickster spirit can come along and seem like the enemy. But in fact, when we look at the collective stage and the puppets on it, you know, this trickster spirit, this trickster energy, as things have moved and morphed down the generations, we are left with the blatantly obvious, hilarious puppets. You've just got to look at Boris and think, wow, that coyote is shouting out loud, real loud. The guy is a mess. And where I want to adorn myself with greatness, I want to look good, I want to drive the best car, I want to do this, I'm actually paying for this goon that I wouldn't let in my car in case he marked my seat to represent me. Let me think where I went wrong. Let me think in my own life and if each and every person could hear the Coyote change like that. But if enough people do it, and even if just you do it today, it makes an impact on this experience. It makes an impact of all the collaboration that goes on while you're living on this realm, on this earth. The earth is receives greatness from you, recognizing your greatness and being enthralled and exhilarated by the experience and journey that the Coyote will send you on until you learn your lesson, and can find the fun in it, so that people around you, when you're around them, they have light heart. So you're going to have an effect anyway if just you do it today. So forgetting about the even bigger picture, it's just good to bring some hilarity to it. This is where you can really make a difference in your own life and in others people's lives, but most importantly, your life. So just thought I'd bring that today. Number 12, Coyote. Super interesting message. I mean, this would be the Loki type character, you know, that is a god but not a god. This would be many of the other representations of the trickster god, the trickster goddess. And this is where there is huge growth in those stories. So look at whichever resonates with you, just to give you a grasp even more so on this trickster energy and how you can use it in your own life for your greatness. Much love, balance, and wholeness.